Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today I'm reviewing the erotic thriller Knock Knock. Directed by Eli Roth, starring Keanu Reeves, Ana de Armas, and Lorenza Izzo, Knock Knock is about a husband and a father of two who's left alone for the weekend to finish up some last-minute projects. On his first night alone, two stranded women, soaking wet, find themselves knocking on Evan's door. Being the nice guy that he is, Evan lets the girls in, gives them a drink, gives them a couple towels, and calls them a cab. Fortunately and unfortunately, Evan is seduced and now has to deal with the consequences. Now this movie is absolutely gorgeous, from the talent to the set design, to the cinematography. We also have some really cool Steadicam work where the camera kind of cruises through the house and you can see all the pictures of Evan and his family to reinforce that Evan is genuinely a good guy. It's a really nice shot, but it's also really cool to see the progression of the story through the camera. The house that this movie takes place in is absolutely beautiful. There's lots of windows, lots of light, and it's just pretty open for a horror movie, which you don't often see because we don't have somebody sneaking around. The girls are front and center almost the entire movie. I thought the acting from Ana and Lorenza was fantastic. They really played like the sexy characters and really trying to coax Evan into sleeping with them. And it led to one of the biggest highlights of this movie, the buildup of sexual tension through the first half of the movie. When we first meet the girls, they're at the door and they're soaking wet and they just look stunning. So I can feel for Keanu Reeves when he sees these two young women come to his door after knowing that he hasn't had sex in 3 weeks, his wife's kind of ignoring him, and he already has this kind of resentment towards her, but he's a nice guy, and he just wants to help these ladies out. Like, they're constantly teasing him, they're talking about sex, they're really trying to get him in the mood to cheat on his wife and have a threesome with them. Keanu played the role perfectly because he was super awkward and was constantly moving around the room to try and get away from the girls to kind of enforce that he is in fact a good guy and he does not want to cheat on his wife. Eventually the girls want to have a shower and Keanu's trying to kick them out. He's like, come on, you guys gotta go. Your cab's here, get out. He opens the door and he sees them naked, and we, the audience, also get to see them naked, which is awesome because these girls are dynamite. And this is where problems start. Once they start getting into it, this pent-up tension just comes out and we have the two girls and Keanu having one of the most intimate erotic scenes that I've seen in a very long time. The cinematography, the close shots of skin touching. I don't know how to explain this properly without gushing over it, but it was just a gorgeous scene. Now, for those that don't know, this is actually somewhat of a satire on like invasion films. Specifically, it's a satirical remake to a movie called Death Game from 1977. Actually, one of the ladies from that, Colleen Camp, makes a cameo as the neighbor in this movie. So they kind of took that story and made it modern by integrating, say, stuff like Uber and Facebook and just social media and stuff and bring it to the new age. And I think this is kind of where it falls apart. They talk about it too often, I think. And I don't know, it kind of felt a little awkward and it led to a pretty disappointing final scene. Well, I thought the acting was really good while building up the sexual tension with everybody. Keanu is really good at playing an awkward character, but he's not very good at playing an upset or angry, emotional character. For the most part, his acting's fairly stiff and he's not believable. I think the reverse can almost be said for the girls. They were really good at being serious, but when it came to the back half of the movie and they were kind of being a lot more playful as they're torturing poor Keanu Reeves for his actions, they were almost too playful, they were too cute. Especially Anna's character. She ended up starting to act like a teenager, and it was getting pretty annoying because she's kind of running around, she's full of energy. It could have worked had we not seen the more serious side towards the beginning of the film. My biggest gripe with this movie is the motivation for the girls torturing Evan. They didn't really have any motivation before they showed up to that house. I mean, there is no closure as to why these girls are doing what they do. And that's a big disappointment when it comes to a home invasion revenge style movie, because it's not revenge at this point. Despite my dislikes, I think Knock Knock is worth a watch. I mean, it's not the best movie, but it's not the worst. It looks great. You have beautiful people doing super sexy things, and it's worth checking out just to see how well they can build the sexual tension and how hot the love scene is. I thought the acting, for the most part, was pretty solid, but it does kind of fall apart at the end when Keanu starts trying to get mad at the girls and when the girls are just kind of being a little crazy. And while it is nice to see Eli try his hand at a home invasion, I really thought that they tried too much to modernize it, that it kind of fell apart towards the end. And I think the ending really needed to be changed because I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. So I'm going to give this 3 major laser impressions out of 5. As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and let me know your comments on the film in the comments section. And if you haven't checked it out and you want to, I have a link in the description. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our reactions, reviews, and games of What Would You Do?